Popped out to a viewpoint again. It's pretty cool. Alright, so we're on a single narrow track now. Check out these gold little fruit fly things that are on me. They're very steep with the coral, and that's definitely a gulch. They're underneath this log. Alright, so this is the turn down. Yeah, here we are, the Laie Falls. Still pretty cool. This is the upper falls, I believe. It's just so muddy and damp in here. This must not get any sun ever. My second mongoose running through there, too far away to show you. It's really annoying. You're like a little mouse. Mongoose. Alright guys, so we're back here again. We went to Laie Falls yesterday. Today we're going a different direction to another waterfall called Malaekahana. So we'll see. Hopefully this track is well marked. We'll find out. So it's about the same distance, I think about 12 kilometres return. And yeah, had a good day yesterday. The water was flowing, so I really hope the next gulch over it's going to be good. We'll find out. We get up to the junction up here where we turn right. I'll show you where to go. And this gate stayed open all day, so you could theoretically drive in here, but I'm not going to risk it. Also not to raise suspicion and piss them off, so leave it as it is. Alright, so left goes to Laie and right goes to Malaekahana, hopefully. I don't know what's down here, but hopefully it's not dodgy to get in. Looks like it's a plantation of lily flowers. Interesting. Hello. Alright, so there's a road just veers through farmland. There's like little shipping containers and boxes and huts and stuff everywhere. The guy in the field just waves, he didn't really care. He's probably just a worker. So, if this last part, and then should be into the forest by then. What are these? More lilies. Flowers, big business here. Well, this feels very red hot. I walked through these farms and there's kind of people everywhere. Last guy didn't really wave back, but yeah. It's got the Hawaiian sign again about unsafe conditions. So, we're going up here. We're going right. Or is it a little bit further? I think it's actually right there. Yeah, it's this way. Here we go. Start of the actual trail. Trail work in progress. We're making improvements on this trail to support emergency access. Protect the mountain from future wildfires as work as part of a longer effort to prevent preserve native vegetation and care for the hyena. I don't know what that is. Please kokua. That's take away your trash. I don't know, respect any closures or detours. Mahalo if you understand. I like how you put two random Hawaiian words into the English sentence. Alright, well, they're maintaining it for 5. That means our trail should be good. That's good. Now, this could be old private property. Look at the trespassing sign with that gate there. The road must have been way lower, and they've obviously built this up because the gate's not going to go over this track. I don't know what that sign and that track that way is, but we want to go straight on here. But no signs for the waterfall, but like, you know, I've got the information that it exists, so it should be good. There is someone's recorded track which I'm following, so I'm not exactly sure the full location, but I'm assuming it's the end of his track. So we're just going to see how this goes and what we find. I'm sure I'm going to find some sort of order. So happy days. It doesn't say you need a permit for this one, but yeah. What's funny is that those signs are both contradicting. It's like, first it's private property, stay out, don't trespass. And then the other sign's like, hey, welcome, and we're looking after the trail to make it better for you, and please take your rubbish and respect the area. Which one is it, people? Are you happy I'm here or not? I don't think they know what they want to do. It's just, it's an unsafe track, they think. And I mean, the track we did yesterday was not unsafe, so I don't know why they think unsafe conditions. Who knows? Well, there's a creek down beside us there. I don't know what that is, but it's pretty dry. I'm hoping this has water because we just can't really check it. Because again, the gulch is like further over to the right. So we just got to give it a go. Well, you can tell this road's pretty fresh. They've dumped truckloads of gravel up here on top of this red soil, and it's pretty fresh. You can tell in the last, whatever, at the most a year. That's really good because who knows how bad this track might have been. It might have been all encroached in and overgrown and maybe not even walkable. So yeah, shout out if you've done this and the trail looked much worse, because at the moment we've pretty much got a highway. You can literally drive this. I could drive any car up here. Just won't let us. It's frustrating. That's a Sunday, so no one should be working anyway, so that's really good. That's a bonus. Did a couple of beaches this morning straight up. Then onto our waterfall. We'll try and look at 2 or 3. There's 2 other ones up the road that are kind of shortish, but I don't know if people have done them because there's no recorded tracks for them, and I don't know how access is going to be, if you can creek hop it or what. So we might have a little look at those. If they seem too hard, I might have to skip 2. There's a 3rd one that has a Gaia trail recorder, so it's definitely be the one, if anything. And there's still a few more to go. There's, I think, what did I say? 28 total, I think, waterfalls on this island. So we're already over halfway. So it's good. Knocking them out, and like I said, a couple of them may not even be possible. Had to skip 2 because they were dry. So I'll be close, people, close to getting them done in the time I have. Alright, so right now we're walking pretty much to our left. It's called Wini Gulch. It won't be specifically that little creek, but it'll be just the area. Now I think we're going right. I think they've diverted the road. See that? That's the old track. So actually wasn't too bad. It's pine needles and dirt. The gravel's been laid this way. My track kind of goes, actually don't even know, no, my track kind of goes straight. Maybe it joins back up, I don't know. There's the little bulldozer that's been doing all the work, good for them. Look, we'll try this. I mean, we're just gonna walk in a straight direction really. If this doesn't seem to work or whatever, we'll go back and try the other one. So far this is his recorded trackway, but my track I drew was gonna be that way, even though that both these tracks, they're not officially marked on the map. Just the recorded track and my idea of a track. So we'll take his recorded tracks. He probably knows what he's doing. See how we go. It seems that he goes over into this other gully, like past where I thought Malaekahana might be. It is possible that this doesn't go to Malaekahana and this goes to a separate gulch waterfall, because he's marked it as, named it something else, which is strange. So I don't know, look, whatever. As long as it takes us to a waterfall. It's just hard to know. This information is definitely a bit weird. Yeah, this track gets to shit. Look at this. Like, in terms of, I see why they repaired the road. Yeah, you could forward drive it, but she's getting rough. Mud puddles. But yeah, I'm on his track, so. Alright, hopefully that track is like super new. The other one to the right. Okay, we'll see up here. Alright, so we've got a junction coming for the left. Again, that's not on the map, but I think we're just going to keep straight. By the way, another track to the right, it's almost like a cross track, but we're going uphill here a bit. Alright, climbing up a little bit here. And this old fence we're suddenly following. Either side of this road, actually, there's a fence. And we're almost halfway, so we're doing right so far. Humid as usual, but surviving. I really doubt I'm seeing anyone on this trail today. So yeah, there's even like the locals that I met yesterday that have done the Laie Falls on the other track near this. They've done it multiple times. They never even knew the waterfall was up this one. So if they don't know, and the other one, Laie, was marked on Google. This one's not. So they're just a bit more underground. I've got no photo, so I don't know what we're going to find. Alright, so just like yesterday, we're starting to get ocean view, popping through. Wind turbines are getting visible. So yesterday we were over there on the next gulch over. These ferns just growing out of this post. Give your best life ferns. Why not? Hillside's pretty dry, but that was like yesterday too over there. And the creek was good. Slow uphill, push now. It's gonna be nice to go back. Oh, look at that ocean view's getting better. That's sick. Alright, so we've pushed up to a treeless plateau, just only a little shrub. It's probably the wind comes through here a lot. That's why things don't grow too big. Hence why they also put a wind farm down there. Makes sense, the passage of wind must come, we're sure, of the ocean straight through here. It's probably what's also half carved away the gulch over time. Wind and water erosion, obviously. Alright. So yeah, that's supposed to be our gulch. I think that's the Malaekahana, but like I said, I think his track does curve around to a separate gulch over there. I can't really understand the map because the creeks aren't drawn properly on the map, but yeah, I think he's called it Momo Falls or something. That's not the same name, but I don't know. But I haven't seen that name anywhere else but his track name, so maybe he doesn't know the name and he just made it up himself, who knows. Maybe his name's Momo. Alright. Well, pushing on here. Should almost be. Hope we don't have to walk up the next hill, that's going to suck. We'll probably do. Yeah, I reckon we are. We have to go down and then up and then maybe we're getting close. Jeez. Now, you definitely can't really creek up these creeks, they're just bush. Can't even see rock. Yeah, it makes sense why we go on the ridge lines. Just turned around again, realised I could see more of the coastline this way. Boom, that's sick. I was just down at those beaches just before, straight in front of us. There's three little islands like Bomb, and it's kind of like a jut out bit, yeah. So we're definitely going up there, and then a little bit of a plateau, kind of, and then it's a pretty steep down to the gulch. So it's soon to be there. The tractor's been up here pretty recently. That's good. Again, he's cleared this pretty well. Just made a makeshift gate. Anyways, just pushed the rubbish off there. Look at that. View's getting even better and better and better. Alright, you get to this big, pretty much turnaround spot he's made. Seems like he hasn't really gone past here with the tractor, so might be on our own for the last bit. He might have went up here, but I don't know why they put sandbags along the edge. Strange. Okay. A little bit of shade again, which is nice. It's not going to last long. Windmills look bigger and bigger as we get higher. Wind turbines, I should say. Not. There's still a windmill, but yeah. Check this out. What the hell? A freaking pelican must have flew here with these, because they have come a long way from the ocean. I don't think someone banged them and dumped them there. You never know, maybe they did. Maybe they bring up here to eat them. That's wild. Right, here's that last bit of the hill we saw from back down there to push up. A water barrel here. Don't know what the deal with that is. Old post there. Alright, so we pushed up on this next little knoll. Views are good, but those group of trees just there we walk through is a bit too tall and they're blocking the view a bit. But still pretty sick nonetheless. Alright, so down and to the right there is Wini Gulch, it's called, W-I-N-I. And the Malaekahana Falls is almost straight down there. Someone's got a little fire here. But like I said, we're kind of bypassing it and going further, then going down. So we'll just wind around and see what happens. I don't think there's going to be a track down to where I think Malaekahana is, but like I said, this is a bit of guesswork because I don't have the exact pin for Malaekahana anyway. But the Malaekahana Gulch, I believe is what it is down there. So we're almost going to hit military land as well. Apparently we actually go into it slightly with this ridge track, which is funny. But this is where he's recorded his track, so we're not there yet, but a few hundred metres. This is the walking track from now on, and He definitely hasn't tracked it down here, so there's a little bit of a track going left, but this is the way we're going to go. Now all these crushed little figs attract all these little flies. We saw this yesterday on the other track too. They're really annoying because there's so many of them. You'd love it. Actually, I was mistaken. I do have a photo of Malaekahana, but let's see if we're going to that actual waterfall and it's not something else. We'll find out. There's a chopper above somewhere flying. You can see it. Just hear it. Coral ferns returned. Hello, coral. Convert this to a viewpoint again. It's pretty cool. Alright, so we're pushing up again. Starting to change vegetation, even a little bit drier up here. I hear voices, someone's up here. Ooh, someone is doing it. Alright, so we're on a single narrow track now. So I just met this couple and he gave me a bit of information that, yes, he calls it Malaekahana, whatever, so don't know what the moi moi is, but this is definitely the way. He said you could definitely swim. He said the lower falls was a bit smaller, but it was better. And there's a bit of a dog leg with the track, which we've got that marked on the map anyway. He said they got lost for about 20 minutes, but yeah, we'll figure it out. He said there's ribbons anyway. So it should be good. Happy days. So I'm walking through the hectic fruit flies, they're getting worse in here. Just following this real narrow ridge. It's pretty damp up here. But yeah, we're not far off. Happy days. Right, we're out of the fruit cove, which is good. Still getting higher and higher. Now see a second and third starting group of wind turbines. Now back into an open little dry coral section. We're nearly at a turn down spot. No, we're back into fruit section. Classic fruit fig things. Didn't last long. Funny how that one little spot just cleared and coral took over. Show these gold little fruit fly things that are on there. Alright, so we're at this survey marker, which is actually, right now, is the boundary of the military, which is supposed to be in that way, but clearly they're not coming up into this because this track just ends at the waterfall. So as we go down this side now, we cut into the right, we go into apparently their land, which is very strange, but I guess someone just did it and didn't care. Alright, so down, and then it'll dogleg to the right to the steep part. Oh, slippery with these rotting figs. All this little ridge line, almost a razorback. Coral razor. Well, that part was really tight and scratchy because no one's really pushed it back. So people need to come in and trample this a bit wider. It's going to lose the path eventually. And then people will probably stop coming here because they'll be like, I don't know how to get there. Because this will easily cover over very easily. So very steep with the coral, and that's definitely a gulch. So you can see over there, there's a bit of slab of rock. I don't know if that's close to where we're going to be, or it's going to be tucked in that kind of corner starting. So I'm assuming they're going to get around to somewhere there and push down the other side of that hill, would be my guess. Well, that was the most annoying part because the coral fern was so scrabbly, but I actually prefer the fruit flies now I think about it because these are not going to be scraped. Okay, it's probably our final push, I'd reckon, this little hill, and then it's where it's going to dog leg in. So underneath this log, around the skirting the edge, slowly we should be losing elevation. Maybe. Oh, a bit further. Alright, so this is the turn down. Not quite sure this track going up here doesn't really go anywhere, but seems to just end, even though it's cut. Someone's recorded a track a little bit up there. Now, old mate reckons it took him 20 minutes to figure out how to get down this. I don't know how, this looks very obvious to me. Anyway, we'll see. Maybe he kept going. I really don't know how they even cut this track and figured out it was worth going to anything here because it doesn't really show up on the map much as a waterfall, but hey, they've just done some crazy cutting downhill to be like, oh, Can we get to something? So you come out here, it's obvious, and all of a sudden you kind of push you that way. There's no more ribbons, but if you look this way, you'll see the ribbons. So this is probably where he did stuff up. And he kind of pushed that way, couldn't get down. It's so muddy and damp in here. This must not get any sun ever. Just wild. We're almost down. Can't hear the water yet, but we'll be getting close. Right, as you come down, the gully naturally pushes that way, which looks open, like you could walk. But if you look to the right, there's some more ribbons up into here with another little cut track. So we'll stick to his ribbons and see. So I think there's a track to the lower and then it goes around to the upper. I don't know if it's going to actually be obvious or we can just climb it. We'll figure it out. We'll just get down this first. All right, so I'm meandering my way along. We got our first bit of rope tied to a tree, pushes us into this dry, muddy gully. Not dry, but dry because it's not flowing, and then down we go with the last little dog leg left, and then we'll be hitting the first falls. All right, I can finally hear water, so that's good. It's so quiet up there, like just the insects, and just, you are really remote, that's for sure. It's like deep, deep Lamington. All right, so gully pushes us out, boom, here we are. This is our gulch. So there's a ribbon heading down the south, and then left is probably the upper falls. So we'll go to these lower falls first. Okay, so we just crossed the creek. Ribbons are pushing us down. This almost looks like this is a trib. Well, that was a trib, and I don't know. We'll figure it out what's going on. Like I said, the creeks are not drawn, so it's not really easy to understand what is what here. This definitely looks like the creek bends, but we'll find out when we get here. No, I think it's just the bend of the creek. We just cut the corner a little bit. There we are. I believe we're on top of the Laie Falls. There's a big pool. He said he jumped off that. It's pretty hectic. Yeah, the flow's only so coming off it, but still alright. Alright, I'm not going to jump right in. I'm going to try to mean my way down and see what's down below that. I don't trust the water depth just from him. Something just jumped in the water. It was plop. Alright, as you're coming over here, there's a rope tied to a tree. It goes down. We're just trying to meter ourselves onto that first little ledge to look at that level, and then see if we can get off it. Doesn't look like it's going to be that easy to get down it. The rope's a bit shitty all the way to the bottom. Might not even come back up here and bypass and go through these trees here, which just seems safer than slipping off that. We'll see. Now, if you can see, there's that rock I pointed out earlier as we're coming along. So I was right. It was near this, just down into here. And obviously that next bend. I wonder if that's a dry trib there, it looks like. The wall goes around. There's no water coming out of there. It's a shame, there could be a waterfall in there. Might have a look at that when we're down there. Alright, not the cleanest colour, but yeah, here we are, Laie Falls. Still pretty cool. There's a strap tied on top there with a vab sewed into this. So yeah. You can see there it's rock and it's pretty sleek. I don't think I can get down that without a bit of a slide. Maybe it's possible, but I reckon it's still a bit safer to try and meander off. We'll see if that works for me. So there's a little drop here, some boulders, I'm not sure that might be it. There might be one little bit after. If we can find a way down off that, we'll have a little explore, we'll look at that corner, then we'll get up and try and find these upper falls. And it's in the upper falls a bit bigger, just no pool. So, yeah. This little amphitheatre is pretty cool, and there's that rock wall, you can see it better now. Nice people, very hidden. Alright, so I started cutting right, and look, I'm just stuck in all this crap, eh? This would have been the first people trying to cut the path, like just ridiculous. There's a full cliff there, so you can't really get off. I'm going to try and push down. It looks like this spur, which kind of tipped me down into where I need to be, and then I'll just hop back up the rocks. I'll probably just climb the rope back up, because this is just bullshit. If I knew that, I would have just gone barefoot down the rock face. Alright, no ribbons, no track, but I found my safer way down. There you have it. So we've got this part of the creek here, it's all boulders, the water's gone underground. Sounds like there's something just here now. Now I'm curious. These rocks are very greasy, just like yesterday. There's another trib coming out of there, which is dry. I don't think we're going far here, we're just maybe a tiny look and see what this sound is. Nah, it's just boulders. Alright, we'll go back. This lower level is not really probably going to be worth all the effort I took to get down that, but we're here and we'll go back up. And yeah, the falls aren't directly together, so the upper falls is, as you saw when we come down that hill a bit further upstream, so they're separate. Alright, so the photo I've got is off the lower falls, I realise now, so I don't have a photo of the upper falls. So that's going to be new uncharted to be seen for me. Let's get through this grease section. There we have it, the lower T1, T2, what do you want to call it. It does look cool with them together. Kind of wonder why they want to get down this, but it does look better from the base than from the top. So yeah, happy days. You see that the rope, what I was thinking was dodgy, like you're coming down it, you've still got quite a way to get to in, and that water's deep. So even if you got to that last bit of grass, you still got about half a metre, I don't know, like, possible. I'm gonna try and get up that way, but geez. In this corner here, there's nothing really there. There might have been a dry rock face, but there's not. Alright, so we get up, find the upper falls, and then boot on out, because it's lunchtime nearly, and I'm gonna be late for lunch, and I'm hungry. Like a little cave indent under that rock up there too. Almost laying there. I really don't know if it's that nice to swim here. I think old mate did, or maybe he just said you could, but I mean, there's so much rotting figs in here and just all the fly larvae. It just looks actually gross. Anyway, let's get up. Now, I couldn't see this properly from up there, but I actually can kind of climb down and up this little bit here, but it's always easier to see it from the bottom's perspective looking up than it is trying to get down at the first time. I can grab these couple of trays, which should be able to meet them all up easily. That's sick. Fuck the rope slab section. Alright, so heading back upstream. Ribbon's kind of stopped, but it's obvious you just kind of jump on the creek because the side's a bit steep there. There's no ribbon on the right, really. Actually, there is one ribbon over there. I see it now. Oh. So here now, maybe there's a path going around this. We're just trying to push up, go for those boulders. There's a tiny little cascade. Flow is definitely slightly less than the Laie Falls on the other side, but anyway, still interesting nonetheless. Okay, big falls must be just through there. Alright, so another level here. The water seems to be drying out, even though we're only just up from the other ones. The final push is probably the next corner, is the next bigger falls it should be. So yeah, we'll get up there. There's a ribbon there somewhere. It looks like the easiest way. Meandering up this little bit of the face of the rock took a second to kind of just do it safely because it's almost not doable, but I found a way. This should be the last level. I believe that was one above it. The ribbon's just there, so I'm pretty sure they've come through here. I don't know if you can climb this or whether you're actually meant to go up and around it. We'll find out. Alright, this is the upper falls, I believe. It looks like someone has kind of got on top of it, so I don't know. We'll try and go around it, see if we can find a way up there. But yeah, flow's not super good, but still pretty remote and rarely done nonetheless, so still a very good accomplishment. This water, I don't know about swimming today, it just looks a bit too stagnant for me, even though I'm hot as. It's midday now, I'm going to push out, hopefully I'm back out within an hour and a half, maybe an hour if I'm lucky. Yeah, there's like a little tiny little, like almost amphitheater little spot in here, which is pretty sick. So yeah, alright, see if we can find a way on top of that and then we can boot up the ridge to try to cut out. I actually think there's a rope hanging down the side of it, but it's broken, it doesn't go all the way down. So that's a bit of a issue. Actually got a break in the cloud and a little bit of sun coming out here. It'd be better if it was a better looking waterfall. Bit of blue sky. So yeah, probably really not the best month to do all these. Some of them were great, some of them were just, you know, but it is what it is, people. Alright, it's climbing back down out of that little bit of the waterfall. That was hellish. Really had to take a moment to reassess. Took the shoes off and carefully dodgy got over it. Now I was trying to get up and over by climbing up the side here, but I don't know if it's really worth it. It's rock and I don't know if it's really worth the effort anyway. There's really not much of a track and it's kind of a bit of a way there, but it's so thick and annoying. I will just boot out. I've got other things to do today and stuffing around with this extracurricular. It's not really, you know, part of the GO. I was only curious because there was a rope, someone to see where he went to, but I don't think there's another level. But anyway, let's get on back out, people. Alright, so I'm back on Scratchy Hill. It's super sunny here and I'd be super worried about snakes in this if it was Australia, but guess what? There's no snakes in Hawaii. So you can scratch your way through and not be worried. Right, it's a pretty epic view actually. Probably even better. I think I noticed this on the way up because as we got this higher, I probably didn't turn around again. As we were turning down, really awesome view of the whole little town there of Laie. So that's sick. Alright, anyway, hope you enjoyed this journey. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you haven't already, so you get notified of all the new misadventures. And I'll catch you guys in the next one, eh? Peace out.